What's up?
Yo.
Guys.
Hey, Chris.
Hey.
Hey, Jeremie.
Yo.
How is everyone feeling right now?
I've had too much soda.
Sody pop.
Yeah. Did you have a root beer?
No, I had a Coke Classic
From
Okay.
Dubai.
from
No.
Dubai
No, or from your wedding.
from my wedding.
Yes.
Would you make up your mind?
Are you always this easily manipulated?
I'm just saying whatever Tanya says.
Okay. Who do we have here?
Ooh.
Laurel.
Yes,
Ooh.
but I'm not the special guest today.
Thank you.
Who's our special guest today?
Am I?
Yes, you are.
My name is Michael Felber, and I'd like if you all sang me a love song.
Oh, okay.
That's not fair.
That's actually a love song.
Amazing.
Yeah, yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Uh-huh.
That's
I won't.
overwhelming.
It's a throat singing song called the love song.
I felt it.
This is really exciting because this is the technically the final episode of the first official season of Northern with Beatrice Deer. How does it feel to be this far into it, into your first foray into podcasting?
I loved it. I can't believe we already finished this is the 8th episode. And I had such an amazing experience with all you guys and with our different guests and learning so much. And it was rich, very rich. And yeah, an adventure, because this is our first time making this. And high five, Mike, because
Let's
you
high
work
five
really
all
hard.
around.
Yeah. High fives all around.
Air high five.
Air five.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Jeremie. Yeah, I kind of had no idea what we were getting into, honestly. Like, I listened to a lot of podcasts and
Seems easy.
yeah, the pros make it look easy, huh, Jeremie? You make it look so easy.
Wouldn't know anything about it.
Yeah. So like it was amazing, like having everyone work together so hard, and technically you guys did amazing, because I have no idea how technically this is possible, but we have cameras and audio and
Tacos.
and like moving spaces for every chunk of the production of the episodes, and we pulled it off with our busy schedules, and we pulled it off, and I'm so proud of us, and I'm just so excited about what we're going to make next time. And I feel like we in 8 short episodes I think we Hanok, each episode improved. Like how we talk and ask questions, and we became more comfortable around each other, and like I definitely gained more confidence in like hosting this, and I had a great time. I really did. Every time I was super nervous the first time, and then like second episode I'm like, yes, let's do this. And then third episode, then 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, and now we're at 8. I was just very excited, and I'm just really happy that hopefully we'll get more funding to do this. And
if we could, all the feelings that we got just as as us being here and doing the podcast, it was so enriching. And to think about the audience listening to that and maybe getting some of those feelings as well.
It'd be great to hear what our listeners,
and if they learn, the things that we learn and how exciting that is, and if they're able to, identify with some of the things that we have gone through, our guests have gone through, and or find hope in that, and so.
I mean, like as I feel like through this entire process, like I've been one of the listeners. I'm kind of the fly on the wall while these conversations are happening, and as like a white boy from like small town Nova Scotia with not a lot of previous understanding of like Inuit culture. It was a huge learning opportunity for myself, like to get some insight into your culture and hear of the struggles and hear of the triumphs and hear of the, all of the interesting little story, like the stories. It was really my favorite part. And so I feel like for folks who aren't in the know of like the North, I feel like this could be a really valuable learning opportunity. I'm kind of curious about Laurel or Felber or Chris, like as others who aren't in a part of that culture, like were there things that stuck out for you that you learned throughout this process?
So many things. And I just want to express my thanks to you, Beatrice, for inviting me to sit here with you on the episodes I've been able to, and share with everyone who will be able to listen. I can't wait for people to hear this as well, because it's just, it's been so enriching. I don't even know where to begin, but just so many emotions. The day that actually my friend Jess was here as a guest, she and I left, and she was just so overcome afterwards, and as I have been too. Just it's so moving, so humbling, and there's just so much. We're just so ignorant, and even when being invited to do these episodes, every time I look at the name of who's going to come, and I try to research and read things. Sometimes it's just so very hard to find information, and find information that's accessible in a really human way, where you just feel like, oh, I'm actually getting an understanding of what life is like in the North and what Inuit people are like a deeper, richer understanding of that. And that's just such a gift. So thank you so much for having me, but also for creating this, and making this space for this conversation.
What an honor to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. We didn't really ask you.
I was thinking, I always kind of look at the big picture and like, what am I doing? How am I being a better person? And so I feel like this podcast, I think one of our biggest problems in the world, let alone Canada, let alone Nunavik, is that we don't have enough empathy. We don't, we're not kind enough, and so being able to understand is the first step into becoming kinder. And so us doing a podcast like this for you, the audience, or you, Canada, it's a great way for you to understand a little bit of where we're coming from and why maybe we are the way we are and where the pain comes from, and to be more gentle with us and to understand, that we deserve this space, we deserve this time, we deserve what's ours. And yeah, just just hopefully that you find a way to be more understanding and kinder. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big the big picture of what's also going on during this podcast, as much as there's like little avenues of healing and learning and laughter and sharing. But, you know, it's really nice to think that, you know, maybe this is going to reach a place where people become more compassionate. And with compassion, you know, there's kindness and understanding and healing and all that. And we need to all heal as a country. We all need to be better. It's not only us Inuit who need healing, it's y'all too.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And we're going to save the best for last. So, Chris.
Yes. Insert Chris.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, wow. I'm always blessed with all these new
Dishes.
lessons. Thank you. Dishes. Yeah, I've learned so much, and it's just I don't think I'll ever stop learning. And it's always surprising after the guest, whoever it may be. It's crazy to hear these stories, and it's just it's definitely a big learning experience for me. So thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.
And Beatrice, if I may, today I am very excited that we might have the opportunity to interview you, because you are a very more than worthy interview subject, as well as you are, Tanya.
Oh, stop.
And so I'm hoping we can do that today. Beatrice Dear on
Yes.
Beatrice Dear.
Of course. Of course. But before we get there, how about our executive producer here?
Well, yeah. Before we get there, I'd love to say something about the podcast and how it would be great. Like, so there's a thing that Jer introduced me to that his podcasts use. It's called Discord, and it's an app that is kind of like a chat, like a Reddit, like your own Reddit, like your own podcast's little chat app, and people subscribe to it. It's free or whatever it is, like, and you belong to this group, and it's like a community. It's one, basically the point of what I'm saying is that I'm hoping that this podcast becomes a community hub for people everywhere in the North, the South, elsewhere, to link up and have discussions, and so Discord just happens to be like a really great way to actually do that from your devices or whatever. But and YouTube, this, by the way, this podcast is filmed for those of you listening, and you can watch all these episodes on YouTube. And we're gonna have like, by the time you hear this, we will have our own YouTube channel called, like, whatever the name of the podcast is.
It's Northern.
So, yeah, Northern. Thank you. So yeah, like, I'm really excited to kind of cultivate this awareness and have a through like community of its own. Like this podcast, in hopes, will have this community that exists, and it'll grow and grow. And I think that the best case scenario is if we can like pursue this for years and years and have like many episodes, and eventually it'll become
traveling
more, and traveling, and
we'll become billionaires.
Yeah, like I was gonna say it, but
and more interactive.
Yes.
Hopefully, so people. And by the way, with the coming of high-speed internet up north,
Yes,
I'm hoping like that we can bring in people from North, like Zoom them in, or have them like send, like it'll just be easier to like connect and then educate, people that like myself who, just
Say it.
just educate, like open the door, open the window, like
Yes.
Beatrice put it, the window to the north.
Yes.
And then, hopefully people like it will have more of an understanding of like, and empathy and,
yeah.
and,
That Canada will heal as well.
Sorry, but like the people in the north are forgotten about. And it's just, I come from Alberta. A lot of people out there have no idea what the north is and what life is like. And people just kind of lump every Indigenous person under one umbrella, First Nations, and so you're forgetting about many people in that sense. So just things like that, just slowly. And we do live in a time where awareness is becoming a thing to be aware of, I guess, more so, if that makes sense. And so it's good timing. I'm happy I'm really grateful to be a part of this.
Yes.
And to work with Beatrice, and that's been, and I got to thank Chris for that.
Oh, thank you very much.
By the way, because Chris brought me in to the fold.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Also, I learned today that Starlink, the internet service, is actually in the stars. Like it's up there.
Wow.
I didn't realize that there was like
That there was a star link.
There's a star. It's a literal star link. It's, I thought it was. I don't know what I thought it was. But
Thought it was like a star jump.
I don't know, but he said you can see it in the sky. You
Really?
can see the lights.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't.
like
I didn't know this, so that's cool.
Yeah, it's a whole like line of satellites just like floating through
That was a
space.
real jump of topic.
It's a star link.
Can we bring up an image of the?
I can do that. Yeah.
It looks like a
Can
little
I-
bracelet.
Can I answer my
Do the-
baby? Just
Oh,
1
yeah.
second. She's FaceTiming me.
Can we get
FaceTiming you?
Yeah.
Jared?
Boo-boo.
Jared, can you go to this camera? I'll try to.
Cái nhau muna tutong. Ano. Hello. Apa pakai tutu? Tuna me apa pakai? Tuna na. Patatus. Ante Tanya mane, eh?
Antonio,
She
No,
got
no,
scratched
Antonio.
in the face
No.
yesterday. Ooh. Alex, we're podcasting right now. I gotta go. Can you hear me? Okay. Okay. It's okay. I wanted to see her too. Yeah.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye.
There's that bracelet in the sky that I was talking about.
Let me see.
There it is. Yeah.
Starlink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can actually see it.
You actually can see it. Yeah, it's quite
Yes.
wild. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
No
there you go.
way.
I
So
always,
that's Starlink.
And it moves. It moves at quite a rate. I mean, it's not it takes well, it probably takes just over 90 minutes to go all the way around the Earth. My guess is that it's going
What?
like 8,000 miles an hour. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Wow.
insane.
So it's probably going similar to a similar rate of speed as the International Space Station. So I think it's 90 minutes
Wow.
to go all the way around.
Oh,
Really?
wow.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be funny. That's
That's
legit.
insane.
Legit.
Yeah, when I first saw it and didn't know what it was, obviously I went and looked it up and found out it was Starlink, but I was thinking, there must be people in some places seeing this and being really confused, having no
In
idea.
the city?
I saw it in the countryside in Vermont, so not far from here.
Okay.
But
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was a UFO.
yeah, it did.
Oh,
I
For
was,
real,
yeah.
I would too. Yeah.
I had a moment where, I saw it during a screening of a horror movie outside.
Wow.
So I was like, well, we're fucked.
Yeah.
This is it.
This is
No
like
wonder you're having
apocalypse.
dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably where it's coming from.
They're being
Jeremy.
downloaded from Starlink.
Oh wow, that's.
We should wish on that star.
I wish for fast internet.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
This episode has been brought to you by Starlink, the link in the sky.
Sorry, we got interrupted by my baby's FaceTime call.
And our internet provider.
I'm gonna get a Starlink.
Chris thinks I'm hilarious.
I'm gonna get a Starlink golf shirt, I think. to wear.
But no.
Okay, where were we?
Well,
What?
it was nice having Innaarulik call in to see you because it also highlights, Beatrice, how on top of doing all the things that you do, you're also a mother.
Yeah. Yeah,
And-
I'm a mom. Yeah. Yeah, I have 3 kids. I'm still getting used to saying I have 3 kids. But then I add I have 2 adult kids and a baby. And that's like, what? My kids are like 20 years apart. Nila, my middle one and my baby are 20 years apart. Yeah, I love them so much. This is what part, like, this is why I do what I do, is for them and for me and for all of us, Inuit and non-Inuit. And when Mike was talking about like doing this more and for a long time, I thought, wow, like this is part of the 94 calls to action that the Truth and Reconciliation demands the federal government is to talk about our history more and decolonize in media. And this is what we're doing. Like we are in the movement. We're doing it. We're part
Proactive.
of the, we're proactive and yeah, we're taking part. So yay us.
And also benefiting from it too. You know, it's not like
Yeah.
we're just facilitating or anything. We're totally benefiting from it too.
Like there's so many things in our culture that like, yeah, I do know some stuff about my culture and my history, but some of the things like what Lisa was talking about, like some of the stuff like I had no idea. So yeah, it's I love it. It's a real privilege.
Beatrice, can you talk about what you did this morning and what you've been doing in the mornings recently?
Oh, yeah. So I'm learning to be a facilitator in healing workshops. This is my second time facilitating a healing workshop, and I've been working with a woman named Shauna Hordick, who's a clinical psychologist and who's done some work with Inuit. And through the Satukvit Women's Association, which is a women's association for the Inuit of Nunavik, we planned and prepared a healing workshop, a grief and healing workshop for Inuit women. So that's what I've been doing this past week. And that's the sort of stuff that I really believe in. like healing and like for a lot of us people, but mostly indigenous, we have a lot of trauma and loss, just because just because of many factors. Indigenous people are more prone to trauma and generational generational trauma, and so it's learning about that and then teaching about that and healing through that, through supporting and so
Have you guys at the workshop, have you guys received your materials yet?
yes, they did. And Tanya's business custom made these it's like a swag bag, really.
Well, it's TLS Nunavik that does all the incredible material for. They do material for all over, our schools. It's just
And
the
TLS,
most empowering
and that's transformative life skills.
Yeah. And we've been super blessed by TLS to be chosen to do a lot of their printing for them. And so we, from my home, we get to do all these I like to say we're being a part of making the vessels that carry the healing, so
Of course.
and it's till the end of time, I'll forever be grateful to TLS for what they have done for our business. They've put serious foundations under what I've worked so hard to do. They've given us huge opportunities and allowed me to be a part of such important work.
Yeah, which aligns with your purpose. Hey?
Yeah,
like it's
so much. And then aligns. I keep saying that, like everything is just aligning all over the place. It's so nice. It's a great feeling to know that you're a part of people getting better.
Oh yes. Oh yes, because God knows. God knows where we come from. The background, the experience
together.
Yeah. And like to be, it's it's like facilitating healing workshops. Like it's a very kanok. It's a lot of work. It's really it allows me to open up about myself, because how can you really help someone if you don't know what they're experiencing, what they've gone through? And I find that the most impactful people in my life who have helped me were the ones that went through difficult times themselves. And to see them heal and to be a source of light and life, and like that inspired me, and it makes me want to be like that too. So that's why, like, I really believe that I'm where I should be in like facilitating these workshops.
And podcasts.
Yeah, like this podcast is one of them. And like there's nothing more uplifting than watching someone
Have
understand, like, and get freed from their pain and discovering themselves and their power, and like they had this power all along. And then to witness them coming out of their shells, and it's beautiful. It's really beautiful.
And that the healing work you've done on yourself can serve as a model.
Yeah, like that's because people like who don't really know who I am, they just see me as like this public person, a singer, and they don't really know my background. And my background is so dark. It's so very dark. And I don't mind talking about that. It's the stuff that like we have to talk about without shame. Because I truly believe that it's shame that kills us, and that destroys us. And in my songs, I sing a lot about that. And you can see the evolution in my music from when I first recorded and until now. You really see the evolution, like of how hopeless I was and extremely sad, and then throughout the years, now I'm singing about hope and freedom, and yeah, so it's a real evolution, and I believe that we must share these kinds of stories to spread hope. So that's my I believe that's my purpose.
Can we look at your passport photos, the recent one compared to the one before it, like just to show
passport photo?
Yeah, because I was looking. Someone needed your passport photo,
Yeah.
and I found your old one,
Yeah.
and it kind of tells a story, like where you used to be versus like you're fucking killing it right now. Like, and you can
I
see
think you
that
showed
in the
me
photo.
I think you showed me that the before and after.
Before and after?
It's give me a sec to pull it
Like,
up.
do you have that? Why do you have?
It's because he
her
books
manager.
my he's my manager. He's my life manager. He books my flights and
I need a
everything.
life manager.
You need a life manager. Oh, that like Mike is my everything. Yeah,
best.
yeah. He's probably
I'm
more
even-
important than my boyfriend.
We're editing this part.
Thank you. I don't know if this is appropriate or not, but I think it's just actually like quite inspiring because, like, I don't know, it just dawned. It just I came across this photo, and so I was thinking like, this is amazing. Like, I don't know, I just sent it to Jer, but there's your
Oh,
I look so scared.
Wow.
Looks like I don't know where I am and I don't know where I'm going. Oh
And-
my God.
and then-
so
and then
true. Oh, you're gonna have to block out all that info.
right.
Oh, shit,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh, yeah,
my
sorry. Maybe don't show.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're gonna have
wow.
like,
Smiling.
Yeah, someone's doing
great
well.
photo, Beatrice.
Yeah.
wow.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh my God. See, I was still married. I can even in my
Oh, wow.
signature you see.
I'll
Wow.
make a note to blur out the
Yeah.
important info there.
Most certainly.
Yeah,
Most certainly
picture
have to
says a
do that.
lot.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that photo was taken when I was very, very unhappy. I was so unhappy and I had no idea what joy felt like. So I've done a lot of work on that. And I'd say I'm doing pretty good.
So
I'd
freaking
say
good,
so.
man.
Yeah.
It's. I think though sometimes when people see a person that seems joyful, I think sometimes there's an assumption, oh, they must always have been this way,
Mhm.
and they don't realize the work and the struggle to claim that and
Yeah.
find it.
Yeah.
Except in Inuit culture or us as a people, nobody gets away unscathed.
Yeah.
Everybody has trauma. Every
Yeah.
single one, whether
Mhm.
it's, second generation residential school trauma. There's no way.
Yeah.
We all have trauma.
Yeah, one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, and like it when you really think about it, like giving these workshops, for example, you just learn that trauma came from all directions, all directions.
And
like-
how sad is that, to think that you're born in a world and you don't even have a fucking chance
yeah,
right from the minute that you're born.
some people,
Like,
yeah, some,
It's already a statistic that you will be traumatized, you will be molested, you will be beaten, you will be hungry, you will be homeless, you will be
Murdered.
Yeah,
mm-hmm,
either not maybe,
mm-hmm,
but one of them
yeah,
or a few of them,
yeah,
or know somebody who has gone through that and
mm-hmm,
be very affected by it, or
yeah,
loss of language. And it's just,
yeah,
and to still be thriving, amongst all that, and to still be healing. And I'm getting repetitive with my healing word there, but so important.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to be doing a few of these in various places?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's my plan, and my goal is to network with more professionals, because like this is a delicate thing. Healing and like giving workshops, giving healing workshops is delicate work. Like you can't just walk in there and open up a whole bunch of doors, like heavy stuff. You need real support. You need So that's why I'm working with a professional, because like yes, we are natural healers. Some of us are gifted that way. We can listen, and we're good at explaining and really kind of decode our feelings, and help others understand, and kind of make them see, oh, okay, so this is not just me. Like people do go through this, and if they understand like, for example, when a person is grieving, they'll feel anger, they'll feel denial, they'll like all these steps that they are all normal, and then eventually it passes. So anyway, like working with a professional is how I'm going to do it. And I want to travel to different communities and give all kinds of workshops, like healing workshops, parenting workshops, teen pregnancy prevention, sexual health, music, like whatever it is. I want to do these workshops because we need more of these for our kids up north. Not just kids, but adults. There's like fitness workshops also, nutrition. And I'm going to do it. It's not just a dream anymore. I'm going to do it. Like we're going to make it happen, Mike.
You're doing it.
Yeah,
yes, we're doing it.
And
we're doing it.
when we're in crisis, when something happens and we're in crisis in the north, the first thing a lot of us do is say, where are our leaders? Why isn't anybody doing anything? What do we do? How are we going to help our youth in this? But this is doing it. This is doing these things.
Yeah.
And like maybe if these programs or workshops were in the south, one could consider it as, recreation, or, maybe building yourself elevating yourself, but this for us is
Necessity.
saving lives.
Yeah.
It's a
And that's the
necessity. This
goal.
is what this is what's needed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we're traveling up north, like the last time we went on tour and we went to Kangirsuyo, a 13-year-old took her own life.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to happen almost
And
every
then the next day,
next
a
day.
19-year-old girl. Same town.
In a town where you see these people every day
In a
of your
town
life.
of like 600 people, 700 people.
And how is one not traumatized by that? You know?
And then like that moment, I was like, what? Like, we're doing this for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Nonstop, though. It's nonstop.
Like the first suicide, I was like, okay, we must plow through. But then the next morning you wake up and you see the ambulance rush by and go to the clinic and you're like, oh no, I hope it's going to be okay. But then you hear that it's another suicide. And like, I just, like, I broke down and said, we're like, is what we are doing enough? Like,
You're fighting against the current right now.
Mm-hmm.
all the time. All the time. And like, you just want to do more. But I think we're doing.
I think
I'm doing
it's
what I can.
yeah, and you're making a ripple effect. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
people listening. I mean, I want to be better. Even me, I want to be better. I want to help more. I'm sure everybody, you know, or a lot of people want to do that too, and
Yeah.
super inspiring. And I think so much is gonna come from
Yeah.
all
And-
this.
Yeah. And like now that we're talking about this, like there's so many people that send me messages and tell me in person, thank you for talking about becoming sober. And I was so inspired by your story. And like those are like those that's why I share my story. That's why I want to keep sharing my story. And that's why I want to do more. And that's why I want to heal more so I can be stronger and just do this. Really, like we're doing it.
and give people the tools to do it too.
Yes.
So that you know we're working as a
Like-
big machine,
Yeah.
healing machine.
Yeah, like just pass the fire.
Mhm,
Like
mhm.
light the torch and
light
pass
2
the-
torches, and
Yeah.
she's gonna light 4 torches. You know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
And how do you, because when you're dealing with something that's so big that even if you put every ounce of effort into it, you alone couldn't fix it.
Mm-hmm.
How do you find the strength to continue, to carry on, to be able to continue helping and not let it, not let it stop you?
I have lots of support, and I like stay connected with people that believe in the same thing that I believe in. Like I have Mike here and Tanya and my mom. Like my mom is my biggest inspiration. She's been in the healing business since a long time. Like she
And
opened.
then your mother is in the healing business of the hardest.
Yeah, of
And
the hardest of
and
that. Like
yeah, and the like the healing that nobody wants to touch. And thank God, what
Yeah.
important work.
Yeah, she.
Yeah, love her, love you.
Yeah.
What work does your mom do?
Well, her and my father established the healing center in 2008 in Huactac. And it slowly began growing, and she travels giving healing workshops to Inuit communities, and then she goes into the prisons to give healing workshops to inmates, and nobody wants to do that. Like it's like these forgotten people. Like they've killed people, they've raped children, and like society's dirt.
Mm-hmm.
But she has so much compassion for them. And that's like so inspiring for me. And
Mm-hmm. And it's like if you were a dentist, you know, it's like getting right to the fucking root of where it needs to be healed.
yeah.
And it's you need to be super brave. She's so brave.
Yeah.
And she's so committed. It's been so many years that she's doing this work, and you know, it's the most broken people. Not only society's throwaways or dirt, but society's or Canada's indigenous dirt.
Yeah.
You know, already born full of trauma,
Yeah.
and you're the worst of the worst. So for Eva to go into these extremely scary places and with, you know, an open heart and tools and love,
No judgment.
yeah,
Mm.
and God, yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty,
And through her own loss, like
yeah.
my mom was an orphan,
Mhm.
and then she lost 3 children of her own, and she's gone through many other traumas as a
Mhm.
young woman. And
And
like, who
grandchildren.
does that?
Mhm.
And like suicide of grandchildren, and still have a heart to want to help people. Like, that's where I get my strength from. And
When most people her age are retired, you know.
yeah, she's 76 years old.
Wow.
And she's still traveling. She's still,
Because it's so important.
yeah, for her.
Mhm.
For her. And where I listening to like documentaries and people meeting people from all sorts of backgrounds. Like, you hear people like, I'm never gonna forgive. I'm never gonna move on. I'm never gonna let them let my child who died. I'm never gonna let them go, and things like that. And like they become very bitter, and understandably so, because there is no pain like loss.
And loss after loss.
And yeah.
After loss.
Yeah, like I have 3 kids. I can't imagine losing any one of them. But my mom lost 3. My parents. And for them to like make it a goal to help people.
Mhm.
Like my dad too, like he's a force to be reckoned with.
Mhm.
It's just like
I
I
can
just want to
hear him.
clap my
I
hands.
know. I can hear him in my mind right now.
And like just the love and kindness and generosity that my parents have has like it definitely makes me the way I am, I think.
And you know what? Without a doubt, your children will speak the very same about you.
And, yeah.
Because Arsenic is doing workshops now too.
Yeah. My daughter gives cultural workshops, traditional tattooing workshops, and she talks about her own struggles and how she's, oh my God, she's I can't, like I'm just in awe of how she's bloomed into the being that she is today after I fucking wrecked her life when she was a kid with my own problems. Like I was so broken.
But all things aside, you've always been a very attentive mother.
Yes,
You've
I did
always-
the best
yeah,
I can,
You
and I'm still doing the
absolutely
best
did.
I
And
can.
You did not wreck their. No,
I mean, in all honesty, yes, I did wreck
no,
them.
you did.
But the point is, there's always hope, and
And you've been the best example of change.
Yeah, and that's how
and breaking the cycle. And
yeah, when I really grasped that words are completely meaningless if your actions don't follow suit, that really sunk in. I could tell my kids all I want how terrible drugs are and how alcohol is not good for you, but if I'm not living that life, then might as well shut the hell up. And that's how I live my life. I choose not to engage in useless arguments. I just try to be authentic and responsible and accountable for everything that I do. Life's not perfect, and I'm still learning to communicate properly my feelings, because this is learned behavior that I have to try and rewire, and that's hard. That's hard work. That's conscious work, and that's the life that I want to live, is to be conscious and not just do random things for nothing. Like everything has an intention. Yeah, and that's how I try to be an example to my kids and younger, Inuit.
you're walking you're walking your talk.
Yes. Yes, and I hope I keep walking my talk.
So these workshops that Shauna is organizing in various communities in the north, does she have an idea for how many days it would take to kind of open up the process, the doors, and then because you said it's like major surgery. You can't just start and then all right, see you later. You have to.
Yeah. So there's different subjects, different it also it depends on so many things. Like for Shauna and I's workshops, this week is 5 half days.
Who's involved?
It's Satovit Women's Association.
Okay.
So they're the ones who are funding this project, this healing workshop. And it's half days in the mornings, because talking about our innermost pain is exhausting.
And how many people were there?
So we have 12 registered.
Okay.
Yeah.
So pretty much every day, every morning, same 12.
Yes.
Okay. And you're one of those 12?
I'm the facilitator.
You and Shauna are the two.
And there's room for 25, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And we also have Eva Guananak from San Luis and Jessica Angak from Gangsuyok, who are also
I love her.
facilitating with us.
Okay.
Jessica?
Yeah.
Oh my God, she's amazing.
She loves my chicken soup. She tells me that every time she sees me.
Everyone. That woman is just
pure love.
She radiates love, and I want to be like that. I just
get her on the podcast.
Yeah, she radiates love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's like 4 or 5 facilitators, and
Yeah,
are
4
they
facilitators.
gonna go with you to the other communities?
We're gonna meet Eva Kwanana in San Luis
Cool.
in May 1st, I think,
Mm-hmm.
to give healing workshops, and that's
Mhm.
gonna be more intensive. Um,
And is that would you still be having support from Satakvik?
yes, yes. So back to the 5-day schedule. So
Mhm. Yeah.
talking about our emotional pain and trauma is like it's very mentally draining, and like when you're going through healing, your body is exhausted, your mind is exhausted. So the morning is reserved for that, and then the afternoon is reserved for beading and sewing, just to kind of decompress and like calm down. It's very meditative and relaxing. So that's the model that we're doing.
Wow.
But let's say, for example, my mom's healing workshops through the Akhitovik Healing Center, those are more intensive. They're 2-week or 3-week long. I think they're also half day as well, like 4 hours a day, I think. Because like healing is a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and it requires so much courage and bravery to be vulnerable and to open up and to face your pain. And because really the only way to overcome our pain is to talk about it, is to let it go. Because like this pain, whatever it is, it really does eats us inside, on the inside. Like it rots in us and it spews. And the more pain we have, the more angry we are, the more sour we are. Like, and whenever someone says something offensive, it's like throwing salt into the wound, and then we react. And then we hurt people. So throughout the years, I've been trying to be more understanding of that and not take things personally. Like if someone is saying bad things online or anything like that, I don't take it personally. It hurt people, want to hurt people. And yeah, like healing workshops are different, like different organizations do it differently. And yeah, it's, and the more I'd say 5 days is commonly the model that we're going to be using. Like parenting workshops, for example. I took my first parenting workshop when Aksanek was a baby 23 years ago. And I was just a young mom. I was 17 years old. And just a kid. And the teachings from that workshop really made a difference in me, and I still try to apply those. Like it really stuck with me. So just about having routine and nurturing and
even basic nutrition, where people are still so in the dark about nutrition in the north. And I see it all the time, people asking very ignorant questions, and it's heartbreaking to know that or young parents are raising children so unequipped and so uninformed, like about milk or about a fever or about vaccinations or about
like
diaper rash or anything there. But yeah, nutrition is
And sleep routine and like
and it's in this, it gets lost in this mix of colonization, tradition, superstition, myth, youth, naiveness, and it's just this it's like a ball of disaster, trying to raise this poor baby with good intentions, of course, and a lot of love, of course, but just really unequipped
yeah.
to make healthy choices for them, for their children. So
Yeah. Like
I can see.
discipline and like
Or even sending your children to school. Like,
yeah.
you have to send your children to school.
Yeah.
You can't not send your children to school.
But then that is the ripple effect of residential schools. Because so residential schools stole our children. They kidnapped our children. They raped our children. They physically, emotionally, mentally abused our children. And then these children grew up with these multiple wounds, grew up where there was no love and affection, which is a core human need, is to feel safe, feel loved, be sheltered. But these kids, thousands of them, were taken and abused in every single way for years.
And sent back as
And
complete
sent back
strangers.
home, having lost their identity, having lost their spirit and their soul. Angry, angry, angry. And because we're all human and we need love and affection and companionship, they paired up with their partners and they make children when they have no tools whatsoever. No, that they don't even love themselves and they carry nothing but pain. So what do? We'll give them what we have, all we have, pain and anger.
And
thousands of time over. Like, these children who, like in residential schools, that witness their peers hanging themselves, jumping from windows, running away and freezing. 8-year-olds running away and freezing, not knowing where to go. Thousands unreported.
Locked
Impregnated
cages.
9-year-olds. And then the babies thrown into furnaces.
Fed rotten food,
Rotten
meat,
food.
rotten
Given
milk.
diseases deliberately. Experimented medically. To see how
Sterilized.
far can you starve a human being until they die? And these are all the things that the federal government approved and researched. How can you do that to human beings and then deny the history of all that? This was from the 1800s all the way, and then the last one that closed down was 1995. The last federal residential school. Like,
And then be racist and
degrade still.
and question why indigenous people are the way that they are. Why are they drinking so much? Why are they
They don't
nuisance
deserve.
to society?
They don't deserve anything. They live for handouts.
But Like what would anybody else, how else would anybody
Come out.
come out after that?
And we
Yeah.
it's still to this day. That's why generations after, it's hard to get up in the morning and have a routine.
Yeah, and no one gives you a medal in the
No.
morning
Mm-hmm.
for
No.
getting up and having a routine and just functioning,
Mhm.
even though that took an Olympic effort.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. Yep.
And
Graduating high school may be common down here, but in a small town of 400 people, it's a feat.
Mhm. It's a
That-
miracle.
It's a miracle that some teenagers even live to graduate because of the suicide rate is so high,
And dropout rate.
is extremely high. It's all in the statistics. I can never remember the statistics, but they're in Statistics Canada. It's all there.
You both, it seems, have been able to heal in part through the creative work that you do.
Mhm.
And, you were mentioning, Beatrice, that the afternoons are for beading and
Mhm.
crafting and just
Yeah.
having this as part of your healing experience. And what's beautiful and inspiring is that both of you have managed to take this part of your healing and turned it into livelihoods for yourselves and into beautiful things that you're able to share with the world.
Mm.
Can you
Yeah.
talk a little bit about how that's been a part of your journey of healing, the things that you've created, the music you've made, and
Mhm.
all the things you're working on?
Yeah, it took me a long time to accept and really realize what my calling is. Like, I've always loved music. I've always loved singing. And through the more healing I did, the more serious I took my singing. And the more, cuz I believe in God and purpose, and so I listened to preachers talking about that, and I listened to life teachers in the secular world also. I believe a lot in growing and following your purpose, and the more you live in your purpose, the more authentic you are to yourself, and the more the world will open itself to you. And that's what I believe in. And the more healing I got, the stronger the feeling of needing to share my story got. It's not a story that I should just keep for myself. And I make songs. I love playing music. I love it. There is nothing more liberating than playing with these musicians here who have been with me for 12 years. And maybe we can talk about if they've seen an evolution in me, because they've been with me since pretty much day one. But to me, I make music, and then it allows me to share my story, not just in front of the stage in a concert, but through radio shows and like now this podcast, and talk about hope and transform that pain into a beacon of light instead. Because I could easily have chosen to live a life of despair like I did. Because that's what I did. That's all I knew. And I could have continued. But I wanted to see if I can just touch joy, if it's real. And then I just never stopped. And that's why I do what I do. And like sewing is also very rewarding. Like the creative process of no matter what it is, it's like having an idea and then planning it and then letting it grow and the trust that comes with it. Trust in myself. And then allowing myself to make mistakes. And then learning from it and correcting it. And then being proud of it when it's finished. Like every stitch, I just say, okay, my stitches are not so great, but the more I do this, the better they're going to be. And that's with everything. Like everything it's all about trusting yourself and putting yourself out there, being vulnerable. What if people don't like that? And it used to concern me so much. What will people think of me? But the more authentic you are with yourself and the more trust you gain in yourself, like it doesn't matter what other people think. Like it's liberating. What about you, Tanya?
What was the question?
No, it's just how you've healed through being the creative work that you've made.
Well, I think in one of our episodes I talked about before I got sober how I wasn't good at anything. Like I wasn't good at anything. I was kind of like this nuisance, that was just always drunk, maybe a little bit funny. So I got away with things where people maybe wanted to hang out with me a little bit, but I wasn't good at anything. But I was always kind of creative. Not that I had ever done anything substantial, but like in kindergarten, the teacher was like, "Whoa, that's really good." So what happened was, and I guess this might have been the beginning of the end of my drinking days, but there was a workshop. Yay, workshops. There was a art workshop going on. I was 19 years old and it was in Omiya. And so we were a whole bunch of artists and we applied to go to this workshop, and it was nothing that I was really interested in. It was, I think, tapestry, which is sewing, which I have absolutely no interest in. And I should not do, so I don't. And then it was carving, which is like culturally it's a very man thing, and like back then it would, I wasn't gonna go with a whole bunch, carve with a whole bunch of men. Maybe today, but back then I wasn't. And then the third one was printmaking, which it really didn't ring a bell for me either, but I kind of had to do something and go somewhere and whatever. And so I jumped on this plane and I went, and it was so open for us that we could kind of do whatever we want. And although we had an instructor teaching us how to do printmaking, I've always kind of, what do they call that? To your own drum?
Beating, dancing to your own drum.
Yeah.
What was it called, Chris?
How do you say that?
Dancing to the beat of your own drum.
Yeah.
That's a long one.
I do that. So anyway, I ended up kind of taking the materials that they had there, and I was just painting with them, and they were not paint, and I shouldn't have been doing that. But what happened was I was good at it, and people were, giving me praise, and and kind of surprised, and so I was surprised, and I was like, oh yeah, nice, eh? And so I remember on the way back, we were on the plane, and it was the whole flight was just us artists, and we were going to get dropped off back in our respective community. And I remember the facilitator, one of them, she was in front of me, and she looked back at me, and she said, so Tanya, what do you think about that? And I remember so clearly, oh shit. I remember so clearly saying, I know what I meant to do, So it was huge for me to be good at something when all I ever was a throwaway, So I was going to give it kind of all I got. And that really, really was I haven't really given my creativity or my I find it hard to call myself an artist. I should.
You are.
Yeah.
You are a
Yeah.
piece of art too. A work of art.
But I remember, it's so fucking liberating to find purpose. And although I was still so broken, but at least I had a starting point, and I often don't do things that I'm not good at. So like, reading, I flat out refuse because I don't want to do anything I'm not good at. And it's old trauma to me, like I'm afraid. So I stuck to this, and I was good at it. And maybe I was good at it, so I did well, but it was also the only thing I knew how to do. It really was the only thing I knew how to do. I didn't have an education. I hardly went to elementary school because I was moved around in so many foster homes. So I talked to Beatrice about this not long ago, that I'm quite I have a hard time reading and writing. But it's because I miss so much elementary school. And I used to be so ashamed of it. But I'm not anymore. And maybe I didn't need to be forgiven for that, but I accept it is what the word is. And so art has given me the ability to be good at something when everything else was stripped from me. I didn't have a chance to be good at anything else, but I was blessed with this. So, yeah, it's and I was talking about that. It was the only thing I was good at. I didn't have an education. I wasn't sober enough to have good relationships, but I could make a bit of money doing this. So I could eat, and then it turned into, it was all I had. It really was all I had. So when I ran away, I ran away from Kutruk and I moved down here. It was either do or die, and I moved down here. I didn't own anything. All I owned was all I owned was a box with paint and paintbrushes and a few canvas. And that's what I moved down here with. No money. And it was the scariest thing I had ever done. But it was do that or die. And so I did it. And I moved into this tiny little 1-bedroom. And I painted and painted and painted and painted, and I sold my paintings, and then it was what I was good at, you know? And it fed me and it kept me safe, and then when I was, eventually I moved into a 2-bedroom and then a 3-bedroom, and then I had my own little space, and then somewhere along the line, I was 6,000 paintings sold.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
As a painter, Laurel,
Oh.
because Laurel's a painter.
I'm nowhere near that prolific, nor will I ever be.
Maybe more. I stopped counting after a while. But I raised my son like that. I paid my rent. I survived. I was able to stay sober. And I made beautiful things, and so that was, it's art. Doing art has single-handedly saved my life and made me feel good at something. Yeah.
You're great at it. I love your work.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And even the way you structured your company now,
Mhm.
you're helping other people and empowering other women.
Mhm.
Can you talk about how you've
So I guess there was a point where I didn't want to just fucking paint every day, and I felt like I put in my time. Like, I'll joke now when somebody says to me, "Oh, I wish I had one of your paintings," and I'll say I'm retired. I put in my time. I'm not retired, but as a painter, I really, I sacrificed my youth. I sacrificed my life in my painting room, and at the time it was what I needed to survive. So, I accept that. But at a certain point I was like, okay, enough of this, and how can we be more efficient? And so, yeah, we just kind of we evolved. I will always say we. I've always said we. I have never done this alone. I'm really uncomfortable with saying me and my and I, and there's no way I would have ever done this on my own. I have so much help. I have an incredible team behind me. I have they are my friends. They will forever be my family, people who support me, who sell our products, who help us make our products. But yeah, we evolved into we just kept kind of evolving and making. Oh, that's so old.
look at that beautiful work?
Yes, that's your early work.
That's my super. I think that's 20. Well, there was a friggin' mouse in the house while I was painting that. Ugh. That was when we were living in Lachine. It's so hard, like I've made so many paintings. It's hard to. Can you delete that? I'm just kidding. No, they're all right.
They're beautiful.
Actually, the red one, the red Innaarulik that you showed, not that one, the one before that,
yeah, that
is
one.
titled. I think that one lives in Australia, and
Really?
yeah, and it's titled "Husband Come Home."
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where can people go to see?
I'm retired.
But could you plug like how people can like look at your
You know,
stuff or
Her business?
yeah?
can we not?
I
have
Jer
this
has
problem.
something.
What the hell? They spelled my name wrong.
Oh no, that's bad. Classic.
No,
Yeah.
this is not a good. This is not a good.
That's the
It's not a good site.
pretendian.
Yeah.
It's a pretendian that made
You
that.
know,
Oh,
I'm
shoot.
so freaking lucky. I'm so freaking blessed that I have this problem that I don't want anybody else to ask for anything from
Mhm.
me. Like we
Nice.
just
Must be nice.
yeah, we're in over our head, you know. Like we have I think one of the coolest things now is that because our products, well, for one thing, 90% of our products go through our hands. So whether we're printing them ourselves or assembling them ourselves or we do everything ourselves. So we really cut out the middleman or try to give that anyway, but that's really cool, and which also means it's a whole lot of work, but it's something I'm not willing to let go of. And also what's really cool is at this point in our business game, we only do wholesale. So we sell to a lot of stores and shops and little museums and craft places across the north. And now, if you would like to see our inventory list, if you would like to start selling our products, if you're a little store in the north, we have a minimum of a 1-year waiting list to see
Wow.
to see our inventory list, because we just can't keep up, you know. So yeah, it's pretty cool, but you know, at the same time, it's just the size that I've wanted it, and I like it like this. I like that it's intimate. I like that it's about my people. I like that you know, everything is meaningful and been handled and loved, and yeah. So
Amazing.
Congrats.
Amazing.
Yes.
I love you so much.
I have you
I
too.
love you so much.
Same.
Yeah.
You-
I've said this
yeah.
before, like you are my like sober Hanok.
Perfect co-host.
Yes.
Aw, thanks.
Yeah.
And I even gave you a cry session.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Laurel, are you selling any of your artwork? Is there some?
I have an opposite problem of Tanya, where I make very little work because I'm just too slow, and so like
But
I'm
you
getting
do so
over.
many other things too.
I do many things.
And you sing.
I do, and when I'm lucky, I get to sing with Beatrice.
Oh, I'm so lucky when you can join us. I love
I
it.
wanted to be a singer, but I wasn't good at that, so I had to make paintings.
I love it when Laurel can join us
Yeah.
when we
Me
play
too.
shows
Yeah.
and podcasts.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
yes.
I asked Laurel for advice once when we were trying to figure out what a good, I think it was like a single to lead with, like when we released the album. And I think your top choice was Ukautinga.
Tinga, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
And,
nice.
That's just even thinking about what the message of that song is gives me goosebumps.
Mhm.
Just yeah.
And we've talked about that today.
Okay.
And did you follow her advice?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can we play it?
Yeah. That's how it was supposed to be anyways. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, shall we?
Yeah.
We have a music video for this coming out.
Ooh,
Ooh.
that's
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. We shot it in Huactac.
Here are the goosebumps. They're here.
Especially when you know
Exactly.
the background.
You can tune into our YouTube page, Beatrice Dear Music, to view. By the time this podcast is released, the music video for Ukautinga will have already been released.
Yes.
Directed by the great Aussie Michelin.
Uh-huh.
Aussie.
Yeah. Aussie.
Aussie.
Yes. Oswald.
Oswald.
Yes.
Ozzy.
Nice.
Yeah. I love that guy.
He's great.
so fun.
Yeah.
He is so fun. And yeah, produced by Tarinu.
Harry knew.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk about, explain a little bit about
The
the
song?
lyrics, the song?
Mhm. Yeah. So the song is, I wrote this song for my daughter, my son, to all girls and boys, my godsons, my goddaughters, my nieces, my nephews. Because I wrote this song when my two nieces committed suicide 10 months apart in 2018. And Chris and I were actually on our way to the plane to Venice when my niece, took her own life, and then her big sister, 10 months later, took her own life. And that's what we mean by grief, layered with grief and trauma, layered in more trauma. And I wrote this song telling these kids that I love not to be afraid, not to worry, don't fear. And then telling them, like, you're wise, you're capable, you're strong, you're intelligent.
And pain is not permanent. Am I?
Yeah.
Well, after hearing some of the generational trauma that,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
True.
it's kind of maybe
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Permanent.
maybe.
Mm-hmm. But
It seems, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to work
Yeah.
through.
I mean, like my ancestors, like I'm Jewish, and
Mhm.
there's like my parents were closer to the Holocaust children, generations of kids of Holocaust survivors, and I grew up in like a pretty spoon-fed, safe, sheltered environment with everything that a kid could ask for, and if maybe we get there with the people in the north, just to have like one generation where
Mhm.
you know
it's funny you say that, because when I said all Inuit children are unscathed from trauma, but then I thought, no, my son doesn't
Mhm.
have any trauma.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
Fucking did it with him, huh?
Yeah, man.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I fucking did it with him.
Yeah.
I'm doing it with Innaarulik.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My son has no fucking trauma, man. The only thing that kid has ever gone through is, stubbing his damn toe and not having his mom help him,
And
because
being a Montreal Canadiens fan.
he has no trauma.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It's a big detail.
Oh, man, what an
Winning.
epiphany, man.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that was my goal, eh?
Well,
yeah.
Yeah.
maybe in a couple generations,
A lot more.
Yeah.
Mhm.
hopefully.
And then
Yeah.
it all ties again to, like, when
But-
we were speaking to Elia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I would do it
like,
over.
you moved to the south though, and
Mhm.
Beatrice moved to the south.
Mm-hmm.
Like and
Yeah, it gave us
she moved
a head start for sure.
Yes, and so yeah, your kids who grew up here, like
Mhm.
no trauma, but the majority of the Inuk people are like,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't know.
Yeah, and we shouldn't have to leave home to
No.
be away
Yeah.
from trauma.
Yeah.
Is absolutely right. Yeah.
So, yeah. So my way of helping is these workshops, these traveling
Yeah.
workshops. We go into the communities, and this is prevention work, and
Mhm.
that's where it all starts. The healing starts from within us. And if one mom is healing before she becomes a mom, or when she's a young mom, and then there's a better chance for her children to
Mhm.
be healthy. So that's where we must focus our work on, is prevention and consistency.
Mm-hmm.
We have so much work to do.
So much work.
Yeah, but
to
you're
do.
only one person, two people, like you're one group of people.
There's others.
And
There's others,
there's
and
only so many days in a year.
yeah,
Yeah.
And you're super busy,
yeah.
and we need more people
Like us.
like you, and
We need more teams.
teams.
Yeah.
And I know, like, there are
Teams of healthy
some
people.
Yes.
agencies that are ready to support, like
Yeah.
Kativik and
Yeah.
um,
Satokvit.
yeah,
TLS.
and
Yeah, TLS.
but like what's
It's overwhelming, eh, Mike?
yeah, like
it's super overwhelming.
Who's Shauna and like what's like? Are there
others like her?
like because I don't know. You just people need training and
Mm-hmm.
like I feel like these are psychologists that you need
Yes.
to travel with you for these
Yes.
workshops,
Yes.
but also like Inuit psychologists.
Yes, exactly.
And-
Exactly. Because there's this cultural bridge.
Mhm.
I mean, this cultural understanding. Because
And I
we
mean,
have
a huge break in education. I mean, there's a huge
Yeah.
fucking hole. Like, same for me. I mean, I fell through that completely. And, I'm lucky that I had something else to grab onto, which was my art. But, like, I'm not a lot of other people have that.
they haven't
That
discovered
option.
their talent yet.
And even before we can get to Inuit psychologists, we got to go way over here
Yeah,
and
let's
fucking
just graduate
fix the
high school
babies
first.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
So,
yeah, that's sorry, I cut you
well,
off.
the best that we can do is what we're doing,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
what we can handle, and
Mhm.
Yeah.
and of course, walking our talk, and
Yeah.
hope that that other people jump on board too, and be inspired to. I mean, because we didn't know
Yeah, we
that we
didn't
were
know
gonna be
before.
like all we did was like,
Mhm.
holy shit, we're a fucking mess, we better sober up.
Yeah.
So that's all
That
we
was a
did.
start.
Yeah, that was the start. But it was never like, I mean, who knows if I was even a good person at that time, so it's a journey, really, and it's a process, and like for me it was really long,
Yeah,
but
it's long.
it's
For me
long,
too.
yeah, it's super long and super hard, but there's no better time than now.
Yeah, and like I get that concern too, and I try not to. I mean, there are days where it really like worries me and
Mhm.
stresses me, but then like I'm part of this mental health working group called Tatigiluta that was started by Makivik, and it was a 2-year project where we're a table of Inuit with 2 administrators who were in charge of researching and collecting data about mental health in Nunavik, and looking at all this trauma and the generational trauma, and like it's easy to get overwhelmed and see like how is this even possible to get out of. But then being involved in work like that, in people who believe in the same work that you want to do, and really grasping that we must get to the root. We must focus on prevention now.
Mhm.
We are in so deep, but we must use the research done and the recommendations done with the various like the Viens Commission, the Truth and Reconciliation, the Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women, like all these commissions that were done of like the whole country, and then compile that and use those recommendations and try and apply those. And that's the part, like that's where I'm active. I'm not just talking, I'm participating. And it feels so overwhelming and so heavy. so heavy where I just weep. But what gets me up is that I'm doing something. And I don't know how much you know, but you're with me, Mike. You lift me up when I feel like this work is not helping anyone. But to have like you guys by my side and just do it with me, because this may sound fucking dumb, but you're my fucking boat. My band is my boat, and I'm the captain, and I'm spreading this message of hope and just showing the kids when we're up on stage. Look at that woman. I want to be like that. We're doing it. It may sound impossible.
Oh, I feel that way as well. That we're doing it.
Yeah.
Just yeah.
Yeah. And the Governor General has invited me to be in the mental health working group that she has.
Wow.
I got the email today,
Oh,
and
yeah?
I'm sharing that.
Yes,
Beatrice. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're making a difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Speaking of the, the kids that look up on the stage and see you doing your thing and look up to
Nice.
you. There's 3 young kids from up north, and unfortunately it's unknown their names. We weren't given their names.
Maybe we'll recognize them.
Maybe perhaps they do have a question for you.
Yeah. Oh my God, they're so cute.
Hi Beatrice, Laurel yung kasi dating niya katay daw kami. Hi Beatrice, Nate ngayon na may ngiraktok si madugari na gidaridok piyo. Hi Beatrice, ubang Sarah Laura. Imortami niya katiyon na rakpag
Ooh.
Wow.
You could hear the dogs.
Tiny little
Yeah.
thing like that.
Her name is Zoe.
Oh, you know?
No, they introduced themselves.
Oh.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. And
Yeah. And I think they're from Arctic Bay, from the looks of
Oh, yeah?
the mountains.
Oh, nice call.
And their dialect.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So there was Zoe,
Yeah.
and the middle, the boy in the middle is Nick.
Nick or Nate? Nick?
I think he said Nick.
I think he said Nick.
And Sarah Lee. What did she say?
na may ngiraktok si madugari na gidaridok piyo. Hi Beatrice, ubang Sarah Laura.
Sarah Laura.
Cute.
So cute.
So the first question
nailed
is,
it.
how old was I when I started singing? And the second question is, where did you have the most fun when you went to sing? And then the last question is, can she sing Immuta with me? Ooh, Sarah Laura. So adorable.
If she has Starlink.
Anything's possible with Starlink.
I was the first time I sang in front of an audience. I was 15 years old in Huartec at a hockey tournament fundraiser.
What did you sing?
Ilapik and Hatanguluk. Those were the 2 songs that Yayi and I wrote. Yeah.
What's the second song?
Hatanguluk. You may not know this
don't know.
one.
I don't think so. Doesn't ring a bell.
I think it's on an Akpik jam somewhere.
I know it. off by heart.
Really?
It's
Oh.
never been recorded in a studio.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. There was a third song, but I don't remember it. I don't remember how it goes. I kind of remember that it was like a wolf.
That would be Yayi.
Yes.
yeah. So they had you set up in the hockey arena
No, at
Or
the school gym.
at the school gym. Okay.
Yeah, no stage.
No stage.
Floor, shaved.
Shaved.
Yeah. Yeah. And the most fun I had singing, that's a hard one. That's a really hard one because it's always like it's hard because there's like some shows are the best, like simply the best. And then
And then some are very emotional, like when you sang in front of the Pope.
yeah,
But
like
also a huge milestone or
Yeah.
a huge event.
yeah. Yeah, like I don't know.
I could probably say what your
Worst?
most nervous performance was.
Oh yeah?
I think so.
Which one?
Le Talon Bleu.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was. Yeah, I
I
was
remember
about
the bad
to say
stuff.
that. Yeah.
Negative. Yeah.
Was that with during
Talon Bleu is that French talk show that's very popular in
you were
Quebec.
pregnant?
Yeah, I was like, I was early in my
Ah.
pregnancy, and we went to the final, and we were the finalists for the $100,000 prize, and we
Wow.
didn't get it.
Oh, the television heard me.
Yeah, it was.
thank you.
Yeah, it was a great experience. Yeah, but it was so good that a fellow Indigenous singer won. So Scott Pien Picard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, also at the time we were voting and we didn't have Starlink.
Starling.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
True, though.
That's
That's true.
That is an absolute reason.
Yeah.
I believe it with all my guts
Yeah.
because our
Yeah.
internet was so shit in
I
the
think
north.
Saima couldn't vote.
Right?
And he has the best internet in Kuujjuaq.
And the language barrier. It was all in French, and
Yeah.
people were messaging me.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
what, I don't understand.
There was so
this.
many hurdles in that. Fuck. Fucking pissed me off, man. I was pissed.
Is this it? Is this the?
That's yeah.
Ooh.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yes. That's my friend Sylvia.
You don't look nervous.
No.
I
once she
hide it
gets in there,
well.
she's-
Wow.
I'm just beforehand. You were nervous.
Oh yeah, I
but-
was dying.
Oh, I look great.
You
there.
were texting me at the same time too when you were going on stage.
Because it's all live.
There's the guy from Stars.
I felt like fucking Dolly Parton with my like pregnant boobs there.
You look great.
And I made that top for this show. This was November, like I was a month pregnant. My belly doesn't show, but
Are you wearing my earrings? I think so.
Nice.
Can we get a
Nice.
zoom?
Hey.
Can we get a zoom in the ears, please? I'm just joking. Yeah, it was a freaking honor.
Was that in 2020 or 2021?
That was
That
like
was
in the
the
beginning
pandemic.
pandemic.
2020
Yeah.
2020.
probably.
Yeah, 2020, because my baby will be 2.
Right.
Crazy.
2021. Was it 2021? 2021.
Was it
Yeah.
2021?
2021. Yeah.
I guess 2020 everything was closed, so that wouldn't have happened.
No, 2020. Sorry.
Was
It's
it?
2020 because Inaarulik was born 9 months later, 8 months
Okay.
later. Yeah. Oh, I shouldn't say fucking Dolly Parton because Dolly Parton is the absolute queen.
Yeah.
Yeah, edit that out.
I mean, not the queen part,
Duly
the
noted.
fucking part.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right.
Everyone wants to be like Dolly. Everyone knows that. I don't think.
Yeah.
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 You too, Chris?
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. If you could see my face right now, you would understand why.
I can see your face.